Hey guys, Comet here. Welcome to episode 2 of my You Shall Not Pass series, where we will be defying Gandalf. Now, as this commenter points out, yes, it was a really bad time for me to start this series. Since I was only one episode deep, I figured I would try my best to recreate what I did back in episode 1. There's a couple of changes I had to make though. The settlement looks to be a little closer to the left, so I don't have quite as much space. There's also not as much space between the settlement and the ship dock, so I had to actually move one of the farms over to the right over here. I've still got the 3 labs set up. I've got a slightly more compact diesel setup now. Concrete has been finished, and this little facility here has been set up for construction part 2. So what I said we were going to get into in this episode is some copper, and to actually get the concrete to work, I need to start digging some limestone. But there's a problem. We are completely out of vehicle parts. And if we take a look here, the recipe for vehicle parts requires electronics. So then if we take a look at the recipe for electronics here, that requires copper. And if we look, I have 0 copper. So, seem to be in a little downward spiral here. I need copper to start making copper. However, there is a loophole, and that is through trading. So we can trade some of the construction parts that we've made and turn them into copper. And the very first thing I want to do with that copper is make some more vehicle parts so that I can get some more vehicles to make more copper on my own. I don't want to have to rely on this trading dock. So I'll go ahead and execute that trade. And I don't really need to rely on these, but I'm going to do them anyway. And I have these labs paused for now because I couldn't afford the workers. I've only got 3 left. And if we look at our population, we're almost at cap. And so if I want to expand, I'm going to have to dig out this little area right here so that I can make room for another settlement location. So I don't have the beacon working either because I can't put those people anywhere. And homeless people don't actually count towards the worker population. So I'm going to let this sim for just a little bit here, till we can build up enough parts to trade again with the village. And thanks for pointing out that F3 brings up the trade menu. That makes things simpler. To ensure that this assembly here gets the electronics before maintenance, which I know I probably shouldn't do later on, but for now, we kind of need it, because I need to make vehicle parts. So I'm going to put this on priority 1. So anything left over in here should get picked up by the trucks and moved over to here. And then to make sure that this gets the parts before the belt can even take the parts out of this machine, I'm going to pause that belt because I don't have enough copper to spare to go into maintenance right now. So 1.5 electronics can make 3 vehicle parts, so that's a 1 to 2, and 12 pieces of copper make 12 electronics. So every 1 piece of copper can become 2 vehicle parts. So with this 8 pieces of copper, we can make 8 vehicle parts. And to make another excavator here, I need 30 more. So I just need 22 more pieces of copper, and I should be able to make another vehicle. Oh, well, I forgot. These are stealing all of my copper. So what I still need to do is turn this to priority 9. Now this will get all of the copper, and this will get all of the electronics. So let me run this trade one more time. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Parts will stockpile, and they'll deliver them over here. And now this one's working. Beautiful. And I'm actually going to boost that, because I really need these vehicle parts. So just through natural population growth, I've actually gotten up to 205, so I can afford the 4 extra workers here. And I can research the ship dock, blueprints, and advanced logistics. And that will get me all the way to research lab 2. There's a couple of things that was actually added to the tech tree in the update. Tools are now an upgrade you have to do, even though their hotkeys still work before you research them. I don't know, a little weird. And the other thing that update 1 brought are trees. So we can plant trees now and then harvest them for wood using this new forestry control tower. So I'm assuming it works just like a mine tower, just for trees. Yeah, and that looks like how it works. I don't really have the space for this yet, so we're not going to worry about that yet. But that is nice to know, because now I don't have to worry about making 2 docks over here. One for trees and one for oil. I just need to worry about making the one for oil. So that simplifies things a little bit. Oh, and it looks like we've got our excavator. So I'm going to pause the game. Going to copy that mine control tower. And this is where all of the copper's hiding. Let's go ahead and plop that down. Edit the area, I don't know, maybe about that. And I'll go ahead and put in some designations here. Just go ahead and dig up all that for me. And that should auto-assign 1 excavator and 2 trucks. Perfect. So now we're not gonna have very many pickups, so let's make a couple more pickups. So the reason I actually got a vehicle part bound was because, now, learn from my mistakes and don't do this. I made 2 tree harvesters. I should have used those parts to make another excavator. That way I could get copper going. And before I forget, I need to tell this to only dig up copper. I don't want this excavator to waste any time digging up dirt if it can help it. And I do really like the fact that trucks can hold 2 types of items now. So digging up copper is only half the story. We do actually need to enable the making of copper, not just the digging of copper. So I think right about here should be good. And then these, I will set them to copper only. And then these will only accept copper scrap and copper ore. And then just your standard molten pipe channel here, with some flat conveyors to finish it off. Now these do need water, so I'm going to allow truck import and truck export. But then on these, I don't want trucks allowed to pick this up. I want that to be handled by the belts, and by the belts only. Okay, and that should work. And now that I'm starting to look at this more... Hang on. I think I can actually fix this now. I'm thinking it would have been better if I put the copper on this side and put the iron here. Because the copper has to go to here, but then the iron has to go to here. I think that just makes for cleaner belts. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Gonna connect that up. No, that is definitely a valid connection. And then I'm going to switch this recipe. So instead of being copper here, we'll do the iron here. And then I'll switch these over to copper. And then to make sure I don't get any parts mixing around, I can actually use Unity and remove any of the iron that's left over in these, and they'll end up at the ship dock. Okay, I think we're safe to unpause this now. Oh, of course, not enough workers. I should have seen that one coming. Okay, so we're not using any of this yet. Let's just pause that. That frees up 37 workers. Okay. Let's turn these back on. And we can, I guess, turn... Oh, wait, what's paused here? Oh, right, yeah, I paused the belt so I would stop using copper. Blast furnace needs a transport output and exhaust. Oh, that's not good. Oh, these weren't unpaused. There we go, stop complaining. I just need a few more parts to finish this, and everything will be running smoothly. And I want this iron to end up in here. Just like that. But I'm not going to actually build this yet because I don't want to spend the parts on it. I have no parts to spend. And maintenance is still a problem. Hopefully, well, I guess what I could do, since these aren't working anyway, let's see. I can't even use these, so I'm going to scrap them, use the parts to build this so that I can make more parts. I think we're at that point where if I don't do something, bad things are going to happen. Okay, it looks like copper processing is now working. Yep, those are going across the belts. So the trucks will just be importing water for now. I think I'm going to unpause. Let's see, was it this top one? Yeah, I'm going to unpause that. Allow for the construction of construction part 2. That way I can finish off these belts. And then that should get our maintenance going again. Because right now we are completely dead. Okay, things are looking good. Iron is working, copper's working. That means this can start working again. Let me unpause you. That'll get our maintenance back online. And then vehicle parts, looks like we're still working on that too. Nice. Okay, so the first mini crisis has been averted. Now the problem is just making sure that we can maintain throughput. So it looks like iron has enough. Copper's waiting. And now the next thing we need to get up and running is the concrete. So that requires another excavator. And it looks like I've already got this built and set up. Just need another excavator. And I'm probably going to need 2 trucks to work that as well. You know, I actually have an idea that I probably should have implemented a while ago. Where is it? The fuel station. I want to get a fuel station over here, in this area, so that these excavators and trucks don't need to go all the way back over to the coast. I want to run a diesel pipe back along this way, on top of the crude oil pipe. Come underneath, and then back up. That way I don't need to spend diesel to get diesel. It can do something a little bit like that. And let's unpause that. And that's going to take up quite a few construction parts, so that's going to take a while. But that should help conserve some diesel. And then while I'm at it, I should probably get one here. And it looks like that slots in perfectly. Now we can assign this newly made excavator. And I want it to focus on limestone. Oh, and that actually reminds me, if I pull up the layers here, one of the other things that was added with Update 1 is a bunch of quartz over here. I think before you had to use a world mine or trade with other villages to get quartz. I never actually made it that far. And I guess it would help if I unpaused the limestone. Actually, let's unpause all of the storage here. I don't know why that's paused. I'm gonna need at least one of those going, at least one of you, and one of you, and one of you. And now we're out of workers. Okay. What don't we need working? Probably not that. It screws up the ratios a little bit, but it's not working perfectly right now anyway, so it's fine. And it looks like we now have a supply of limestone to get concrete working. Fantastic. So we don't have to rely on brickworks anymore. Oh, but this doesn't have water. Okay. Goodbye, brickworks. I never set up these pipes. Oh, and this is new. Pipes can now come down within one tile vertically. So that actually, I think, simplifies the piping here a lot. I can actually come in from this side. Now, I don't think any excavators are going to be in this area. Well, actually, they can come around this way, I think. Well, I'll be safe about it. I'll put the pipe on ground level so that I can put a little ramp here. Maybe... would that work? Yeah, that looks fine. And then I want this ramp to be on priority 1, because I need that to be finished first. Yeah, so both of these excavators had to come over to this fuel station. That's why I want to put in this pipe. That way they don't have to travel quite as far. It'll save time and diesel. I've also been watching our food. Cannot store all potato after harvest. Why? Oh, because this is full. So speaking of food, let's put in another food depot. Well, I guess I could unpause it, and then just say build it when you get to it. Priority 12. No, wrong priority. This is the priority 12. So there's two priorities. There's the build priority and then the supply priority. Oh, and I'm just realizing, since I took out brickworks, these trucks don't have anywhere to place their dirt anymore. But I can't really spare the parts yet to start making a bunch of storage units. And I don't want to just dump the dirt into the ocean. I'm fine with dumping rock and slag and trash, but you can only place farms on top of dirt. So I would rather fill in the lower levels with rock and slag first, and then throw the dirt over the top. That way I can at least throw a farm down if I need some quick food. I don't like to use dirt as landfill. Speaking of farms, where can I fit the next one? Looks like it's gonna have to go somewhere where these trees are. But I think we're okay for now, as long as I don't increase the number of housing units I have, which I can't anyway because there's this rock in the way. I think we'll be fine with just these two farms for now. I'm definitely going to need more workers to run the rest of these machines here. And then I think the next big thing... Let's see, what have we researched so far? So everything up to Lab 2's. Oh yeah, and then here's the tree planting upgrade. Ah, edicts. I haven't built a captain's quarters yet. Or the captain's office, yeah. And this, I'm actually just going to... Oh, it's all bumpy up here now. That's new. Is it bumpy over here too? No. Okay, so this, it really doesn't matter what you build this. You can just plop it anywhere, and then use Unity to build it. Same with the starter labs. I could have put them up here if I wanted to. But there was space down here. And you can't do that with labs 2, because they actually require an input. So to try and get a belt up to this area is going to be impossible right now. Water's flowing. Mixer should be mixing. And concrete should be concreting. Now, I don't need to rely on this trade menu anymore to make my construction parts. Although we're probably going to go through this water very quickly. Okay, so what is the next thing I need to head for? While everything is working in the background, I think, planning-wise, The next step is going to be to expand our population. So to do that, I need to dig this out. And it's going to want a mind control tower, of course. That means we need to build another excavator, and then maybe another couple of trucks. Oh, but I don't have enough workers. This game. You need things to make the things you need. Where can I maybe steal some workers? I guess we're gonna have to do this. Okay, so that excavator's been built. I don't really care what you focus on, just make sure you get all of this out of the way. And I think I'm gonna try and make this area look a little pretty. So I might dig down one layer and then throw some extra dirt on top of that, so that the settlements are built on top of dirt, not rock. It's probably not something I should be worrying about right now, seeing as how there's so many other things that could go wrong. But I'm gonna try. Okay, what is your problem? Mine control tower, no available place to dump products. Well, you can't dump anyway. No. Oh, that's what it means. Okay, I guess we do need to make a little area for dirt for now. I kind of need it to be in the middle so that all of the mining areas can get to it fairly easily, but I think the best spot might actually be over here, next to the farm. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I can just copy this. Okay, so I'll unpause this first one, and then as we need more, I can go ahead and unpause them. So this one will allow dirt. Trucks are allowed to deliver, but they can't pick up. And then the one at the end of the chain, they can't deliver, but they can pick up. So now all of these trucks have a place to dump their dirt. And I'm not wasting it by throwing it into the ocean. Let's see, how many workers does this take? One worker. I have 3 workers left. I think I'm actually going to make... Oh, this is queuing 1. We'll make 1 more of you and 2 more... No, we can only do 1 more. Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3 more workers. And then I'll assign that extra excavator over here. That way we can get this dug out faster. And since I'm low on workers, instead of unpausing the other 2, I'm just going to use Unity to boost these. Oh, that's not good. Why is this one empty? You know what? I think it's because it had to fill up this really long pipe. Yeah, so this pipe actually is holding 234 units of diesel, and one of these holds 180, so that one pipe actually holds more than 1 tank. And now that I've got a little bit of a part surplus, I'm actually going to put in a storage unit here, and I'm going to start exporting all of these slag out this way. Okay, that's weird. It used to let me link all of these together and pop out over here. Now it's not. So this is how the game recommends I route the belts, but I completely disagree. I think what I might end up doing... Let's see, I could do 1 for coal, 1 for copper, 1 for copper. If I do coal here, then I can't fit the iron one in. Oh, they're off by 1. Oh, that's devastating. Well, maybe we come back to that when we have to redo everything later anyway. Sometimes it's hard to plan when you don't have all of the buildings available to you. Now there's something I can do actually to increase efficiency a little bit. If I make like a little designated area here for, say, dirt, stone, and then copper, I can say dirt only, rock only, and then copper only. Then, with one of our newly researched techs, we can say that the trucks connected to this tower can export here, here, and here only. That way, the trucks that are working for this excavator don't need to drive all the way over to here to drop off the dirt. Oh, and it looks like, speaking of excavators, we've got another one done here. So let's add that guy here, maybe add another truck here. And then that way, the export of these products can be handled by the main non-assigned trucks. So then I'll copy this and do something similar for the iron over here. Oh, but it looks like these are still attached. Ew, no. How do I delete that? Do I just have this one assign it to here? No. I need to come over here and then undo these. Got it. And this one tree is being annoying. So I am going to undo all of that and force that tree to get cut down first. So now the only things these trucks need to do is drive between these storage units and this excavator, and the occasional fuel up. And then the settings on these, we want to allow trucks to deliver, and they're only going to accept from the trucks that are assigned to them. And then here, trucks are not allowed to deliver, but they are allowed to pick up. Okay, I think we're actually in a pretty good spot now. Let me check how much crude oil I have left here. Looks like we still have 88%, which is still a lot. The problem is that as we keep expanding, our diesel demands will also keep going up. So we're going to keep eating through that crude oil at an accelerated rate. So it might seem like we have a lot now, but I do need to get up a shipyard over here somewhere to import crude oil. And that actually reminds me, I should probably repair the shipyard, seeing as how I researched that. That way we can get out and start exploring the map, because all of these question marks could be something good. Wait a minute. What? Sometimes I don't actually need to dig this out. I can just upgrade the housing I have now to housing 2. So let's do that. I mean, I do need to dig this out eventually, but I need the people now, and I forgot I could even do this. Okay, look at that. Easy housing. Didn't even have to dig anything up. 270 cap now. So let's turn this back on. Oh, not... let's pause that for now. So the only thing I need to worry about is having enough food. So I did get crop rotations and irrigated farms. What I could do is Unity build a groundwater pump up here, and then just pipe down some water to irrigate these farms. And then maybe once I get enough people and I'm actually using all of these machines, I'll actually need the extra concrete, which means I'll then need more water. I think once my concrete and copper need to increase production to keep up with what I've built here, then I'll go ahead and add that, but for now, I think we can make do with just these 2 rainwater harvesters to power this half concrete. New refugees. Okay. Now we can unpause all of this. Oh, just kidding. Only unpause some of it. I guess we need one more inflow of refugees, which should happen in 14 months. No, wait. 14 refugees in 8 months. So we're running low on maintenance again, it looks like, because our trucks are extremely busy, because we don't have enough workers, because we didn't have enough housing. So everything is interconnected in this game. This assembly making mechanical parts wasn't getting enough iron. So this next set of refugees need to be assigned to some more trucks. And with that set of refugees, we can now unpause these for realsies this time. There we go. Get everyone to work. And start saving some unity there. And I should probably actually upgrade all of these assembly units to the electric versions. And then to cut down on diesel usage, I need to get this bust over. But first we're gonna add it to... No, don't do that. We're gonna run it through some storage first. And then over to here. And run it along this way. So this will be where all of the copper can come in. And then we're gonna need some unit storage. Right about here should be fine. Then I'm gonna grab a flat conveyor, come up one, and run it across this way. And into there. Into there. Come on. There we go. And into there. So then this will be where the trucks drop off some rubber. So then rubber plus copper gives us the electronics that are then combined with construction parts 1 to make construction parts 2. So all of this can now be unpaused. And ooh, it looks like we're having some power problems. So these 3 generators aren't enough anymore. See, I guess I could maybe just throw on an extra one right here. For now. I do want to get into... Let's see, where is it? This power generation 2, but I need to finalize some other stuff before I get into research labs 2. So I think this might have to wait for the next episode. Yep, and there's the error. So these new refugees, I wasn't paying attention, were now overpopulated. 272 out of 270. So this housing needs to be on priority 1. All of the extra construction parts 2 need to end up here. That way we can start employing those people. Now that I have all of this belt work set up, I'm actually going to turn off truck import. And let everything be handled by the belts. Can I quick deliver this yet? Oh, I can. Beautiful. Okay, so that just removed the warning there. Got a lot of space for new people now. And it looks like we're out of limestone. What are you doing? It looks like you're having some problems figuring out what to do. Okay. Let's just move you here. You good? Okay. Nope. What is wrong with this tractor? What are you doing? Go over here. Are you good now? Why? Okay, never mind. Dig at level 6, maybe. You immediately pick up sand. Why would you do that? Okay, I think I fixed it. I don't know. That driver has some problems. Oh, these take 80 kilowatts. That's why I'm running out of power, because I'm upgrading all of these. Whoopsies. Not enough maintenance. Yeah, I know. We don't have any trucks to move this stuff. Why are you stuck? Because you don't have anything. I really need to make some dedicated assembly units here for the vehicle parts. Let's see, what are these ratios again? So 6 and 3. And I have 2, so 12 and 6. I can make 12 and 12, so that leaves 6 extra mechanical parts, which could end up in 2 assemblers making vehicle parts. Then again, I'm probably not going to be using 100% of the maintenance. I'd actually rather not have to overcomplicate the process until I'm really certain on where things are going to end up. So I might actually just leave this for now. So it looks like the problem is actually copper. Yeah, our copper's out because we don't have any water. Because we don't have any rain. Okay, it's time to build a groundwater pump. Maybe about here looks good. And then we'll get a pipe. And just find a way down. It doesn't have to be pretty. Over to the main line here. And we'll run it back towards everything. Now, excavators do need to get around this area, so I'm actually going to go underneath here. And then can actually connect into here. And reverse the direction on these. Toggle direction, there it is. So now these little arrows are pointing to the right. And then I don't need any of this. Go away, go away, go away, go away. And go away. And go away. And that means I don't actually even need this ramp anymore, so just, yeah, all of this, go away, please. Now, the trucks can't get up to here, so this has to be built with Unity. And then I'm hoping, with the new piping system, I can do something like this. Well, it's not the prettiest thing, but it works. And then, how am I going to connect to there? I can come down. And then get a ramp here in the middle. Come over. And hopefully, connect into there. Beautiful. Not enough maintenance. Vehicles cannot reach destination. Where are you trying to go? Why? Just there. Oh, this is actually bad. I don't have enough parts to quick build this. And it's right in the way of cutting everything off. Let's delete that. Need to stockpile some parts again. So how much water could this theoretically take? So 6 times 4, 24. plus 6 and 6. So what is that? 36? How much can you make? 48. Okay, so we're still within margins there. And if I wanted to irrigate this, that would take 60 water. No, 36 every 60. 36 and 36 is 72. But then plus another 36, so 36 times 3. I don't feel like doing that in my head. 108. And then divided by 48. 2 and a fourth. So I need a second one of these. The only problem is that one pipe can only carry 60. So I can either put in a second pipe, in which case I can no longer get underneath this ramp, or I upgrade it to pipe tier 2, but that is locked behind Research Labs 2. Yeah, here it is, pipes 2. So that is going to have to wait for episode 3. Okay, ramp's in place, pipes are connected, concrete's flowing, copper's going. Still seem to be running out of power occasionally. I don't want to put in any more of these diesel generators because then we're just going to eat through our crude oil supplies faster. I really want to get on to power tier 2, and pipes tier 2, and all of the stuff locked behind labs 2. So what did we accomplish in this episode? Well, we upgraded our housing, took on some more refugees, redid this setup. I swapped the iron and copper because I thought it made for cleaner belt work. I've upgraded all of the assembly units to electric. I've got fully automated concrete and copper because of this water pipe. I've added these little storage units here at the mining sites to reduce truck travel. I've also put in a fuel station here so that these vehicles don't have far to go to refuel. And then lastly, I got this limestone set up. That way, I actually have something to supply our concrete. I'm slowly eating away at this wall to make room for another housing unit. We're okay on food for now. I think the next farm location might be... Can I fit one here? No. And I don't want to put one here, even if I could fit one, because it would get in the way of those. Yeah, I can fit one out here. So worst case scenario, I can stick one here. I do want to get onto the irrigated farms. That'll probably happen in the next episode as well. I don't want to use up too much of this groundwater. I think the most pumps you can put on a groundwater supply is about 3, depending on your rainfall settings. I finished all of the research prior to Research Labs 2, and overall, I think I have a pretty stable little colony going. So the next episode is going to focus on Research Labs 2 and all of that tech. And then I also want to get the ship repaired and sent out to start exploring the map here, so we can see what's around us. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.